Jefferson?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
And before she gets started, I'd like to thank all of you guys for coming out and hearing me out.
Thank you. Well, yeah, thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you for being willing to share your life with people. Would you mind telling us a little bit more about yourself? How did you grow up, your childhood, your family dynamic?
So within my family lies with my mom, my two older siblings, Princess and Prince, my little sister Blessing, and sometimes when I tell people all those names in one, they're like, so your parents named you Princess, Blessing, even a prince, and I'm like, well, I kind of didn't have a decision in that. Literally, I was like 5 minutes old at the time, so.
I like Jefferson. I think everybody would agree that's a great name.
Thank you. But anyways, our upbringing really revolved around my mom's culture, and because she was born in Nigeria, the things that her and her family did then were the things that she does with us now. And some of the things that my mom would tell us while growing up are, like the essential things like respecting each other, or a family that stays together, prays together. So those are the really main things that we do.
I love that. So is your mom and your siblings that you grew up with at home?
Yes, and I also would like to mention that my mom, when she lived in Nigeria, she owned a restaurant. So cooking came to her very easily. I can name just a couple dishes for you guys. Just a couple dishes. There are dishes like meat pie or rice with stew, or even my favorite, this fufu with okra soup. But aside from the cooking, as great as it is, my mom had to put in extra work because, unfortunately, our dad was out of the picture.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. Would it be okay if I asked a little bit more about your dad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Could you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, so share with us a little bit more about your dad and him not being in the picture.
So, with him, it's kind of always been that way. Even when he lived with us, he didn't really spend time with us. And, that's just how it is. Even I remember when it was just the first year we moved into, like 2016, 15, 16 for sure. But we just moved in, and he left. He packed all his stuff, and just went out and was saying like he couldn't take the complaining, he couldn't take it anymore. That my mom, but really all my mom was trying to tell him was like these kids, they need a father in their life. They need a father figure, just to grow up with, and a father just spend time with them, make memories. Obviously I'm too young just to understand that, but yeah, that's just how it was.
Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so you shared a little bit about your home life and your family, which I know and I love very much. Would you share a little bit about who are you outside of the house? What does school look like, friends?
When I hear the word school, I automatically think of my middle school years, because then I was a little troublemaker. So, I just misbehave and act up at times. There was even times where I blame it on, because our dad left us, I have the right just to do this and misbehave and act out. But as I got older, I realized, I'm my own person. I'm responsible for my decisions and what I do. Now with friends though, it wasn't as easy to make as some people would assume. Like, it ain't hard for you just to make friends. It's very easy for you. Ain't no way, he was lying. I like to believe because my dad's somebody that I'm supposed to be relying on, easy just to go to, just left. I'm like, so if he's leaving, how long is it gonna take till you leave? You know, so even till today, I'm not always too certain and too sure of who it is, but something I'm certain about is that God's always with me. God will never leave me, you know, and I found a friend in Him.
I love that. Thank you for again for sharing that, and I love what you said about finding a friend in God. I know we've talked about that before, and would you mind sharing with us what does God mean to you?
What does God mean to me? Well, since I was raised in a Christian home, we always go to church every Sunday. Going to church every Sunday, you're like, oh yeah, I know what God is. I know who God is, and you know, He's God. He's up there, I'm down here. He looks at me, I'm looking up like, hey, you know. Like, but it wasn't really, it was really not until COVID time came around and everything, including the churches, shut down, that I really started to question, what does God mean to me? And my mom would always tell me and my siblings the best way to learn about God is to go through His Word and read about Him. So I took it upon myself, went to go read, and you know, it was a really cool experience, especially in Genesis. You know, it was like, bam, God created this, bam, up there, boom, up there. I'm like, okay, God, what else you got? What else you got? So yeah, I really enjoyed that. And now it's really constant back and forth. It's like a conversation. I go there, I express how I feel, like, oh God, I thank you. Or even in bad times, I'm like, oh, I know this isn't going too well, but I mean, you're here with me, so that's all that matters. So really, thank you. And yeah. Also, excuse me, sorry to cut you off. Something I wanted to add on was, you know, like really connecting with God showed me how much He cares for me and how much, like, He does so by putting people in my life just to help me and lead me through. And even a good example is with Young Life here. God definitely led me to them.
I'd agree with you. I would say that I truly believe that God puts people in your life as well. I know I feel blessed to be a part of your life, and obviously it's through Young Life. And would you share with us what Young Life means to you?
So like she was saying earlier, my sister was coming to the school and I would come with her, behind her, as like a little boy down here, 6th grade. Since it is 6th grade, I wouldn't want to keep you all here for 5 years talking. So I'd rather just give an example instead of what Young Life means to me. So this takes place back in 2018 of December. Just another time with holidays coming around. It's like Christmas is coming, but we can't celebrate it. And I was like, my friend.
Would you like to bring your friend in?
Come in.
You don't have to stand outside.
Come in.
So yeah, I really wanted to celebrate Christmas, and you know, because of our circumstances, we weren't able to. And that's where it was. I was like, okay, well, you know, our mom's obviously working, so there's nothing on her. Like she's trying her best for us, but I was like, okay, maybe next time. But then my prior beliefs were flipped around when Jenna, you, and the fire department just came to our complex. They came there, they called us out. They were like, hey, come out, we got a surprise for you. We're like, what? Like, you know? And then it was just them coming out with a whole bunch of gifts and just giving them to us. And we were just so surprised. My mom was so happy for us. And I got a basketball game. I've never played a basketball game in my life. But that day I was like, I will become a basketball player. Today I will become it. So I played that game, and I think I did a pretty good job leveling up. But you know, I could go on and on, really, I could. But I like to leave off on a note that made me realize that family is kind of what you make it. And you know, it doesn't have to only be blood. And Young Life and Jen, they just really have put a special place in my heart. Really, family, like a second family. Really, I just really thank you guys.
My last question for you. Would you share with us, because I've had the opportunity to go to camp with Jefferson, would you share with us a camp memory that you love?
A camp memory that I love, because nobody has ever seen this, I want to tell you guys this. So the first night that we were there, I was expecting, like, you know, settle in, you go to, are you okay? I don't know how I haven't been hearing that. Okay, I was like, it's just gonna be a good settle in. I'm gonna eat my snack, bam, we go to the club, and then I go to sleep. But no, when we went to club, when we went
I
there.
haven't heard this story, so I'm a little bit.
Yeah, I know. I didn't tell it. When we went, after we came to the club, they were like, I was like, okay, we're about to go to sleep. But then they were like, nope, we got a parkour for all of you guys, all the boys. It's time for a parkour. I was like, oh. And Flagstaff was cold in the summertime. In the summertime, like I didn't take no jackets, no blankets, because I was like, it's gonna be hot. It's hot here, so it's gonna be hot there. It was so cold over there, so there was like mud. I'm over here like my slides are coming off. I'm over trying to get through, running through. I had one of my leaders carry me on their back. They're like, come on, Jefferson. I'm like, oh, okay, come on, let's go. And then, you know, that's definitely one of my favorite memories. Just, it was so random, and that's how Young Life is. Just how I like it. Random.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being willing to, share your story with this crowd. And again, I am very blessed to know you and your family and to see you grow. And I think we all got a little bit of your personality, but it is fun and vibrant and kind. And those are some of the most amazing things that I know God has created you to be. So I'm going to pray for you, and then we have one last thing for you guys.
You know what? I'm just going to stay on the table.
Lord God, I just thank you so much for Jefferson. I thank you for his life, God, who you've created him to be, and who you're going to continue to create him to be, God. And thank you for his words and his life and his story. Thank you for everyone here, God, that we are privileged to hear it. Bless our night. Amen. Amen. Thank you again, and we have one last thing for you.
Thank you.